Yo, what's up everybody? TheSurrealAndre, aka New Era X Saint. New episode in Quest for West. And this one, I do get a gold legend that I wasn't exactly looking for, but he is cool to have and I'll definitely use him just for the novelty and the fun and how many jokes I can make in a video just using him. But we'll see that later on. Today I will, first of all, this is episode 11, I think. Yeah, 11. And this is where my luck starts to kick back in. I went through such, actually you'll see more of that in the next video I have coming up. I was going through some dire straits of luck, and this is where it starts to kick back in. Then it got worse again, and then no, it's decent again. But either way, ever since the player injury lock, I guess my gold legend collection isn't that impressive anymore. It's just cool to have Iverson, because people are just getting so many legends. Like, it's just it's almost like they're going out of style with how many legends people are getting. But whatever. I was going to get to the draft. I think the day that I uploaded my last video was like half an hour before the draft started, and I went on, it wasn't even a rant, it was just an opinionated kind of thing, that I didn't think Nerlens Noel should have been the #1 pick, and he ended up not being a #1 pick. I think it was 6th. And I felt bad for him, to be honest. I did kind of feel bad for him because I could see the look on his face. He was getting very anxious. Even the second that they didn't call him #1, he looked anxious. Then they didn't call him #2, then he looked more anxious. And by the time I got to #3, I was like, last till 24, the Knicks will take you. Last till 24, we need you. So that's how that went. But he ended up going at 6, and I think it was to the Pelicans. Yeah, the Pelicans took him. And I thought it would have been cool to have Davis and him on the floor at the same time, because they would be block central. I mean, just that would be scary. Imagine going up against that in 2K. You could never get anything against the Pelicans, like at all, unless you just shoot. Well, whatever, you know what I'm getting at. But instead of keeping him, they ended up trading him to, they traded him and their pick next year to the Sixers for Drew Holiday. And I think that was a good trade, because a lot of people don't, because it's Drew Holiday and he had a breakout season and became an all-star. No, that was a good trade, because as good as Drew Holiday is, he was taking the Sixers nowhere. They were kind of jogging in place. A lot of that was because of the fault of Andrew Bynum, but still, they were kind of jogging in place with him. Even though he's an all-star, he wasn't really taking them anymore, taking them anywhere. So they decided to kind of blow it up, trade him for possibly Nerlens Noel. Even though I said he's very one-sided and I'd want more from a #1 pick, there is a possibility that he can build an offensive game in the future. But it's kind of unlikely, just because of the situation that he's in now, you know, just off of ACL tear and whatever. But Sixers built a good future setting them up, because they got Nerlens Noel and they drafted MCW, Michael Carter Williams. I think he's great. He just needs a jump shot. And got possibly what will be a really good pick, probably another lottery pick in next year's draft, because I don't think the Pelicans will really pull much this year. So, and next year's draft, for those of you who don't really know, is being called the next 2003 draft class. And we all know how that 2003 draft class was. If you don't know how the 2003 draft class was, you should probably kill yourself. No, don't kill yourself. Subscribe, then kill yourself. But anyway, that 03 draft class was probably the best draft class I've ever seen in my life. Even though I've been an NBA fan since I was like 8. But you know what? Let's just say the 03 draft class was sick, and it's hard to. Oh, there he is, Mr. No, not today. I can't wait to get some gameplays with him, because it's going to be jokes and jokes and jokes and jokes. I want to average like 5 blocks with him. But yeah, Dikembe Mutombo, the pickup for today. Great pickup. Can't wait to use him. I'll check out his stats in a minute. I don't remember if I get a duplicate coming up, but I'll see. Whatever. I was getting at, what was I getting at? Oh yeah, the 03 draft class. 03 draft class was great, and this is next year is being called the second coming of it, with people like Jabari Parker and Andrew Wiggins. If you don't know who those people are, you should look them up, because they're more than likely going to be in the draft next year, and those are born superstars. They're like Ben McLemore's. You just know they have something great coming in the future. Speaking of Ben McLemore, I think he went way too low in the draft. I forgot what team he went to be honest. I should probably look that up. I only remember Trey Burke because I really like Trey Burke. I think he's going to be great, and he ends up going to Utah by way of Minnesota. So I'm definitely going to keep up on Trey Burke, and I really should look up what team McLemore went to. I think it was like Detroit or something like that. I'm not sure, but McLemore is another one to follow. He'll definitely. I predict him having a great first season. I think he's going to be Rookie of the Year, even though it's too early to tell. That's just me. I forgot where Victor Oladipo went, but he's another one that could turn out really well. Other than that, this draft was filled with what I said before, probably just role players, people that will turn out to be decent role players, and nothing's wrong with that. I mean, this draft class wasn't that impressive, but it was decent nonetheless. Next year will definitely be more impressive. But other than the draft, in other news, so we all heard the news of the Nets and the Celtics making the blockbuster deal that sent Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, and Jason Terry to the Nets for Chris Humphries, Gerald Wallace, Mirka Telovic, I think that's how you say his name, and 3 future first-round picks. I think that's a bit much to give up for 2 Asian guys, even though they're Hall of Famers. That's a bit much to give up for 2 Asian guys, whereas one, his contract is up next season, and the other one, well, both of them are like 37, and the other one, his contract is worth like $25 million. All in all, they took on a lot more money picking up those 2 just to hope that it will give them a better chance at the chip. And in all honesty, it probably will, because no matter how big of a Heat fan or whatever kind of fan you are, on paper, that team is the best team in the league. D. Will at the 1, Joe Johnson at the 2, Paul Pierce at the 3, Kevin Garnett at the 4, Brook Lopez at the 5, and Jason Terry as the 6th man. That's a big 6. That just crushes everything, every super team, and it's hard to, either they're going to literally win the chip next year, or they're going to bust as badly as the Lakers busted this year with their all-star starting 5. That's the only thing that can happen, and the only way that will happen is if KG and Paul Pierce try to do more than they're there to do. Jason Terry always knows his role as the spark off the bench, but Paul Pierce is always used to being that guy and that clutch guy. They already have that in Joe Johnson. So they just need to fit the mold of knowing their role. KG, I think, will do it easier than Paul, because Paul is just, I hate Paul Pierce so much. Being a Knicks fan, you know why I hate Paul Pierce. I despise that guy as a player. As a dude, I think he's really cool, and he went through lots of hardships. But as a player, I despise that guy, and I hope they don't win a ring just because of him, even though I love D. Will. But yeah, on paper, that team is better than the Miami Heat, and that's the new super team of this league, and it's hard to look at. Very disappointing, because I am a Knicks fan, so it's hard to really even think that after like 2 years of just being in New York, that team is really better than us. They had a better team on paper than us this past season as well, but no, it's just out of this world. Like, Jesus. I mean, I can only imagine playing that team in 2K. But I guess that's just them. I mean, they want to do whatever it takes apparently to win that ring. I know they have the team to do it. It just matters if they can do it. And as long as everybody knows their role on that team, there is no reason that Nets team shouldn't go far next year. And that's coming from a Knicks fan. I'm just being realistic. But I guess why not? Because they have one of the richest owners in the world. I think he's Mikhail Prokhorov. He's ranked as like in the top 30 richest people in the world. Yeah, Jay-Z does not own the Nets. He owns like 0.05% for whoever you Jay-Z fans out there, just so you know. But anyway, let's look at Mutombo's stats. he's not as offensively gifted as I'd want him to be, but he does everything that I'd need him to do. His low post defense is 99, his blocks is at 99, and his reboundings is both are almost 99. And his post hook, I think, is decent enough to just baby somebody every now and again. So Dikembe Mutombo, look for him in upcoming gameplays. Hope you guys like the video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.